Welcome to the lecture on requirements of claims. Requirements related to claims include the clarity requirement, support requirement, conciseness requirement, formal requirement, and other requirements. In this lecture, I will explain the clarity requirement and the support requirement. First, let's look at the clarity requirement. I will explain why the clarity requirement is necessary. Claims have two important roles. First, claims serve as the basis for judging patentability requirements. Examiners identify an invention for which a patent is sought based on the statement in the claim, and they then judge whether the claim fulfills the patentability requirements, such as novelty and inventive step. Second, claims serve as the basis for determining the technical scope of the patented inventions after the claims are patented. The necessity of the clarity requirement follows these two roles of patent claims. If an invention cannot be understood clearly based on the statement of the claim, examiners cannot judge whether the invention fulfills the patentability requirements, and people cannot determine the technical scope of the patented invention. Therefore, an invention must be clearly identifiable from a claim by a person skilled in the art. This is why the clarity requirement is necessary. As I explained using the previous slide, claims shall be clear. Therefore, if an examiner finds that the claim of a patent application is unclear, the examiner will notify the applicant. Then, in which cases should the examiner judge that the claim lacks clarity? In this lecture, I will show 7 types of violations against clarity requirements. However, please note the following. First, even if a case does not correspond to any one of the 7 types, this does not immediately mean that the claim is clear. Second, even if a case seems to correspond formally to one of the 7 types, there are cases where the statement of the claim can be clearly understood based on the description or drawings, or based on the common general knowledge of a person skilled in the art. Therefore, examiners need to read through not only the claims, but also the description and drawings, and they need to be familiar with the common general knowledge in the technical field. Now let's look at the first type of violation against the clarity requirement. This is a type of case where the statement of the claim itself is unclear. First, if a claim includes linguistically inappropriate expressions, the claim can be unclear. This includes clerical and grammatical errors. Second, expressions that a person skilled in the art cannot understand will make the claim unclear. Please look at example 2 in this slide. A process for manufacturing compound X consisting of process A and process B in the presence of Km2 catalyst. The term Km2 catalyst, as used here, is not defined in the description. Moreover, a person skilled in the art cannot understand the meaning of the term Km2 catalyst, even in consideration of the common general knowledge as of the filing date. In this case, because the meaning of the term Km2 catalyst is unclear, the claim is also unclear. Now let's look at a second type of violation. This is a type of case where there are technical defects in the matters used to specify the invention. Please look at the example on the slide. An alloy comprising 50 to 60 weight% iron, 40 to 50 weight% copper, and 20 to 30 weight% nickel. This claim includes 3 conditions related to the ingredients. Please note the minimum percentages needed to fulfill each condition. In order to fulfill the first condition, at least 50% of the alloy must be iron. In order to fulfill the second condition, at least 40% of the alloy must be copper. In other words, at least 90% of the alloy is iron and copper, so the room left for nickel is at most 10%. However, in order to fulfill the third condition, at least 20% of the alloy must be nickel. Therefore, if an alloy fulfills both the first and second conditions, the alloy cannot fulfill the third condition. In short, no alloy meets all 3 conditions specified in the claim. This type of claim is technically defective and therefore unclear. Let's look at a third type. This type of violation occurs when the category of invention is unclear. Inventions must fall into either of 2 categories. The first category is physical entities, such as products, devices, and systems. The second category is activities, such as methods, processes, and use. Now, please remember the second role of patent claims. The claim serves as the basis for determining the technical scope of the patented invention. The technical scope of the patented invention differs by the category of invention. Therefore, if the category of invention cannot be determined based on the statements of the claim, the technical scope of the patented invention cannot be determined. As shown in this example, if the category of invention is unclear, the claim is also unclear. Let's look at a fourth type of violation. The expressions shown in the text box of this slide may make claims unclear. If adjectives such as thin, wide, and strong are used in the claim without specifying the exact measurements, the claim may become unclear. In addition, expressions that make the range of numbers vague, such as about or approximately, may also make the claim unclear. You also have to pay attention to expressions like when desired or for example. If the scope of the invention becomes unclear to a person skilled in the art as a result of using these expressions, the claim is unclear. However, there is one thing that I would like you to be careful about. If you use a term that has a meaning that is widely recognized in the technical field in order to express the said meaning, we cannot say that the use of the term makes the claim unclear. For example, the meaning of the term high frequency in the technical field of amplifiers is clear to a person skilled in the art. Let's now look at a fifth type of violation. If a claim includes definitions by functions or characteristics rather than by structures, the claim can become unclear in some cases. Let's look at the claim in example 1. Compounds having the R receptor activating action. The description of this patent application states that the applicant was the first to discover the R receptor. It is common general knowledge as of the filing date that it is difficult to understand the specific compounds defined only by their action of activating the newly discovered receptor. In this case, the chemical composition or chemical structure of the compounds cannot be understood based solely on the action of activating the R receptor. Therefore, this claim is unclear. Let's look at example 2 of the fifth type of violation. A hybrid car for which the energy efficiency while running on electricity is between A% to B%. In the field of hybrid cars, it is common general knowledge, as of the filing date, that energy efficiency is normally about X%, which is far lower than A%. Therefore, it is difficult for a person skilled in the art to understand the specific hybrid car defined only by such high energy efficiency. As a result, this claim is unclear. The sixth type of violation is the case where a product-by-process claim becomes unclear. A product-by-process claim is a claim defining a product in terms of the process by which the product is made. This is called a PBP claim for short. Normally, a PBP claim shall be construed to refer to the final product per se. Please look at the example in this slide. This is an example of a claim for compound A sodium salt prepared by a process comprising steps A through E. The scope of this claim covers not only compound A, sodium salt prepared by the process comprising steps A through E, but also a substance with the same ingredients prepared by a different process. Therefore, the scope of a PBP claim is difficult to understand at a glance. In which case does the PBP claim become unclear? Let's go to the next slide. In JPO practice, when a claim concerning an invention of a product recites a manufacturing method for the product, the invention is clear only when the invention involves a situation where it is impossible or utterly impractical to define the product by its structure or characteristics at the time of filing. In other words, as explained in the previous slide, the scope of the PBP claim is difficult to understand at a glance, and therefore the claim is unclear in principle. However, in JPO practice, PBP claims are accepted in the following cases. In cases where it is technically impossible to analyze the structure or characteristics of a product at the time of filing, or in cases requiring an outrageously large economic expenditure or time to carry out the work necessary to identify the structure or property of the product, in view of the nature of a patent application which requires speed, etc. The seventh type of violation is the use of trademarks or similar expressions. Trademarks or similar expressions characterize the commercial origin of goods, rather than the properties of the goods relevant to the invention. A trademark holder may change the ingredients or mechanical structure of goods, to which the trademark is attached. So the characteristics of the goods to which the same trademark is attached may change over time. Therefore, if a trademark is used in the statement of the claim, the invention may become unclear. Examiners should invite the applicant to remove trademarks and similar expressions in claims unless their use is unavoidable. Now, let's look at the support requirement. What is the support requirement? The basic principle of the patent system is to grant an exclusive right for a certain period for the invention that the applicant discloses to the public by means of the patent application. Therefore, an applicant is not allowed to enjoy an exclusive right for a scope that is not disclosed in the description. That is to say, a claimed invention should not exceed the scope stated in the description. In other words, a claim must be supported by the statement in the description. This is called the support requirement. How, then, is the support requirement examined? In JPO practice, examiners look for a substantial correspondence between the claimed invention and the invention stated in the description. If there is a substantial correspondence, the claim is supported by the description. In concrete terms, examiners examine whether the claimed invention exceeds the extent of disclosure in the description, to which a person skilled in the art would recognize that a problem to be solved by the invention would actually be solved. If the claimed invention exceeds this extent, the claim is not supported. If an examiner finds that a claim for a patent application does not fulfill the support requirement, the examiner notifies the applicant of that fact. In which cases should examiners judge that the claim is not supported? Let's look at 4 specific examples of violations against the support requirement. The first is a case where a matter that is not stated or implied in the description is stated in the claim. In the description, an invention using a DC motor is stated. In the description, the use of an ultrasonic motor is not stated or implied. On the other hand, the claim recites the use of an ultrasonic motor. In this case, the claim is not supported by the description. Let's look at the second example. This is a case where the relationship between the claim and the description is unclear. The description states that a word processor has a means for changing the size of characters and a means for changing line spacing. On the other hand, the claim states that the word processor has a data processing means. In this case, it is unclear whether the data processing means in this claim corresponds to the means for changing the size of characters or means for changing line spacing. Like the example explained in this slide, if the terms used in the description and the claim are inconsistent, and the correspondence between the claim and description is unclear, it is judged that the claim is not supported by the description. Let's look at the third example. This is a case where the details disclosed in the description cannot be expanded or generalized to the scope of the claimed invention. The description only discloses a hybrid car equipped with a control means to perform Y control. In addition, as shown on the right-hand side of the slide, the description shows that the energy efficiency of the hybrid car while running on electricity is within A% to B%. On the other hand, the claim is a hybrid car of which the energy efficiency during running on electricity is from A% to B%. In the description, it is stated that the energy efficiency of A% to B% is realized by Y control. However, it does not disclose the method of realizing the energy efficiency of A% to B% using a method other than Y control. On the other hand, the claim does not recite Y control, and therefore the claimed invention covers all hybrid cars that realize an energy efficiency of A% to B%, irrespective of a specific control method. Meanwhile, it is difficult to realize this high energy efficiency of A% to B% according to common general knowledge as of the filing date. Based on this fact, a person skilled in the art as of the time of filing would not be able to expand or generalize the details disclosed in the description to the scope of the claimed invention, even in light of the common general knowledge. In other words, there are no grounds for said expansion or generalization. In this case, the claim is not supported by the description. Let's look at the fourth example. This example is a case where the patent is claimed beyond the scope stated in the description, because a solution for the problem to be solved by the invention is not reflected in the claim. In this case, the claim is not supported by the description. In this example, the description states that the problem to be solved by the invention is to prevent excessive automobile speed. In the description, only a mechanism to increase force aggressively against stepping on the accelerator pedal as speed increases is disclosed as a means to solve the problem. On the other hand, the claim recites a mechanism which varies the force against stepping on the accelerator pedal as speed increases. The mechanism specified in the claim includes not only the mechanism increasing the force against stepping on the accelerator pedal as speed increases, but also the mechanism decreasing the force against stepping on the accelerator pedal as speed increases. The latter mechanism cannot solve the problem of preventing excessive automobile speed. In other words, a solution for the problem to be solved by the invention is not reflected in the claim, and therefore the patent claim goes beyond the scope indicated in the description. Therefore, the claim is not supported by the description.